Scared of the evil women. Okay, there's more rush. How many men have I lost? 135. That's not including the French casualties anymore. I mean, this 302,000 against 1.1 million, 1.2 million. Not even close. You think Moscow is enough? Okay, well, it's march to Moscow now. Infantry, our little mech guys, and it's like everybody. You lost at least 400,000? Honestly, in the grand scheme of things, 400,000 is not that bad. I think. Okay, Russia's at 50% right now. I have noticed that they're not dead yet. We'll go to Zarzin for you. Could all make our way down to the Caucasus if we wanted to. Yeah, I need you swing your way up like this. Yeah, we didn't even get to use like chemical weapons on anybody. If anything, this is the most humane war this continent's seen in a long time. If we're gonna just drive our way to the capital here. We're also at war with the Mughals, and I think that's really about it right now. Okay, encircle St. Petersburg and then send a absolute monstrosity to go take Helsinki. I don't even know what to do this, and then I guess I can get a high chief. There we go. More organization, never hurt anybody. And I think with that, the war is over. Yeah, the game might crash. It might crash trying to load what the hell's happening to Russia. So we'll give it a second. The British mandate of Moscow. You are the British. Why does Britain, like, not to sound rude, okay? You didn't do shit. You didn't do shit this war. What gives you the right to ask for anything? I'm gonna bring these guys all back to Europe for right now. I mean, I got Prussia, I guess. Wait, no, I haven't. Wait, is this my mandate? It's your mandate. I got my own mandate. Let's go. Okay. So let's establish a German common market. Russia seeks armistice. You form the EU later. I do see we have this thing. The Great War concludes. We are for empire because empire is at once our sword and our shield. It is the greatest guarantee of world peace, a true civilization. We are for empire because we are true to Europe, to liberty, and to ourselves. I think more stuff's happening in Russia because the game's pausing again. Yes, okay. We got the Polish Transnational Authority, the Baltic International Military Commission of Belarus. I mean, Russia gets to exist. That's good for them. And are you all in the League of Nations? No, you've all succumbed to the hey, Bukharin's here. Look at his nice little hat. United States of the Far East and Green Ukraine. Okay, so the Japanese have just taken over West Russia. Yeah, whatever. You know, it is what it is. Also, Russia took over Mongolia and this territory here. Can you see Corsica's leader? Currently, it's led by Occitania, which is led by Louis II. Yeah, the anti-treaty insurrection. Well, Diplomats Moscow going to discuss the terms of Russian withdrawal from the Second Great War. It seems the unwillingness of the military to acknowledge the treaty has gone out of hand. Coalition of Russian generals have broken off from the Imperial government and renounced the term of the armistice, vowing to first put up down the old government and resuming hostilities until Holy Russia is liberated once more. Seems like an issue. Is Russia actually going to collapse in a second? Is it just going to be the Russian Civil War? Also, I just noticed... Wait, I've got some questions. Once this is done loading in. I would play a TNO version of this game. Yeah, I think I mean, I feel like the lore is already pretty decent. It's definitely a good middle ground between the New Order and like a standard mod. Okay, excuse me. The game is still loading in the background. But correct me if I'm wrong. Also, okay, you can't actually even see my map at all. Hey, there we go. My question was Russian flames. The situation of Russia is completely degenerated. Military insurrection caught both Imperial and E4 off guard. The many stranded in Russia's major cities are mandates. Outside of these cities, the nation has exploded in a total war. My question was, were these areas not part of my country before? Like, did I not control these two provinces? Let me see if I can look at it through. No, okay. It looks like this is the borders before. Hey, but I can do stuff here. Yeah, let's like Poland like us. And we might as well, I don't know, decipher. I was gonna say do British stuff. Oh no, because we're in a faction together. That actually makes perfect sense. Wait, is Italy not in our faction? Oh, they are. More Tesla Towers. The Russian Civil War. Because the all Russian Provisional Republican Army against the Russian anti-treaty insurgency. The Siberian Emergency Military District. And Ursul, all the Jacobins. Lash Orda, provisional governments down in the south. Apparently you are state socialist. WWII, work in progress. National mandate. The Peasant Republic of Dagestan. What else we got in here? Caucasian Pacifical? Pacification Army. Okay, that actually makes way more sense than what I was saying. Well, and you are the Russian Commoners Council Republic, led by Stefan Petrenko. I don't know who the hell this is. Also, you're now breaking up even more. The Anglo-Siberian Commonwealth, the Russian Solidify Army, the Omsk government, Siberian White Army, Siberian Revolutionary. Hey, Boris Sadikov, you're my favorite state socialist. The Ural Military District. It's the Anglo-Siberian Commonwealth. You never heard of it? I don't know. It's a British mandate, I guess. I have no idea. 7/15. I mean, it's a pretty even war. I don't think we can send volunteers here. Never forgive, never forget. Rebuilding Germany. Make Britain like us. Deal with the French colonizers. Hunt down the collaborators. Still have no focus, no events. Stability for our militarization. The German century. Rejoin the League of Nations. I didn't know I left. Actually, this might get bypassed if you're already in it. Yeah, okay. That's if you don't join their faction somehow. The Lyon trials, the Italian dispute. Loses Cornell Sauce. You know what? I'll be nice to France. Use core. What I think I'm going to do is, it's now 7 o'clock in the morning, is we are going to just focus on auto-complete on this. I feel like waiting for these focuses to get done probably isn't necessary. Demilitarization, German century, rejoin. We'll get some events off of this. We're going to just do all of these. Turn it off while we do the dream of a greater Europe. Oh, yeah. We'll get a few more events, or at least we should. For Tesla coils, please. I love Tesla coils. Okay, these are massive. Okay, the French plight. German government today has stated that it has now begun the long and arduous task of relocating the French dysphoria, primarily away from the lowlands and the Rhineland, and back into France proper. Reports have concluded that the German government is poorly handling the situation, and accounts of extreme starvation and dehydration becoming too numerous to ignore. Excellent. The Italian kingdom has always claimed the region of Tyrol, Istria, and Frala ever since reunification. Whilst we are on friendly terms with the Italian government, the topic of who should govern these regions have remained a thorn in our diplomatic relations. So this is for Istria, which is you. Pirelli, which is you. And Tyrol. Keep them? Yeah, what's Italy going to do? Nothing. So the Lyon trials. The conference on the status of French and Russian war criminals on the Second Great War, simply known as the Lyon trials, were held at 10 a.m. within the French city of Lyon. The city miraculously avoided any major urban firefights or long drawn-out sieges, thanks to the mayor's willingness to surrender the French garrison to the city without much of a fight. The location was decided upon after both the German and British governments had jointly decided that Paris was simply not suitable to host any form of official conference, let alone one that would decide the fate of many war criminals that had come about during the war. Parisian infrastructure was virtually non-existent, and both parties quickly decided that the largely intact Lyon would suit the conference best, while the court hearings and proceedings being held within once defunct Parliament House. The first matter of the trials was the topic of the SP and a role in the war. Many disturbing atrocities, especially towards Jews, have taken place under the SP leadership, and whilst the investigation into some of the worst of these atrocities are still going on, the verdict has been made clear by the court: death by hanging for those responsible for these crimes against humanity. Next topic was discussing what that of the French and Russian military. Numerous violations of the rule of war were broken on many occasions by important individuals originated from the armed forces of the nations, and can be argued that such individuals were responsible for France's warmongering attitude. I did deploy living barbed wire on people, but hopefully we can ignore that. Where the hell am I? Okay, both economists under the French and Russian governments utilized slavery in their reforms and to fuel their war machines. They were also complacent in the mainstream of prisoners of war, as well as occupied populations, and arguably encouraged it. The government officials mostly got away with having the death penalty, besides some extreme cases. Finally, was the topic of leaders of France and Russia. This is the most long and drawn-out area of the Lyon trials, and lawyers on either side passionately argued that both parties were responsible for the environment that led to these nations' path of war. They also pointed out the hypocrisy in the British and German empires, who had achieved their world status by conquering other nations, much the same way as the French and Russian governments. However, the court did not budge, and it came to the conclusion that both leaders would be hanged and their bodies cremated in undisclosed locations. By the end of the week, the trials had concluded, and most of the individuals responsible for the horrors of the Second Great War were either dead or locked up indefinitely. Europe must now rebuild itself piece by piece and undo the mistakes of the past, else it faces another monster of vengeance once again. The horrible weapons were not even deployed. Like, literally, like, Russia and France, they didn't even get a fight in the war long enough to do any war crimes. Finally, peace has been restored. And then you are going to be done in 35 days. Burgundy, Denmark, Sweden, Norway, Poland, Wallonia, and the Netherlands. I mean, that's going to be a pretty big empire. Also, let's research. You know what? Let's research, like, little robot face here. I mean, the series is basically over. Let's look at this situation. It's not great. But are you not at war with, No, you're just at war with the Russian anti-treaty insurrection. Okay. Also, Finland actually got a lot of land as well. Good for them. Good for them. Like, does Britain have a... Britain Forever? Like, what do they have for their post-war... tree here? The Red Sun over Asia. Oh, so they can just keep on attacking people. World tension increased. United Oceania, equal America. Quebec and the Northwest Territories would unify. Test the A-bomb. Wait, they just... Wait, Britain just gets the A-bomb for free? What else do you have? Begin demobilization. Article 15. Do they have any decisions for the fact that they lost? No, they don't have any focus, unfortunately. What do you think the Russians? No, they also don't really have much in the way of decisions here. But in a few days, we'll be looking pretty good. I'm guessing. Will this even still be? You still have -5. Is it? I actually haven't looked at this in a while. 5, 0, 25. We don't have political power to spend points or whatever. So P for Britain. I mean, they can only get it, I guess, after they've already won the war. So I guess it's slightly more balanced, but even then, actually, is it even more balanced? I don't know. Alright, we have more units. So we have 165. We just have, like, way more troops than everybody else. Basically, yeah. And there we go. The Federated States of Europa. Might as well do... Apparently this still matters, even though we're now all of this territory. The city of Frankfurt was in jubilation today as the German government announced excuse me, the formation of a new united Europe, which consisted of Germany itself, the lowlands, Poland, and Scandinavia. These nations have put aside the cultural and political differences in pursuit of establishing a better defended Europe. Some nations, such as historically neutral Switzerland, have announced their wishes to join as pan-European states. The United Kingdom has stated that it will welcome the new political entity and wishes to continue positive relations that it had with its forebearer of Germany. Wait, can I actually add more people into this? No, I think that's it. Apparently Switzerland wants to join, though. You don't think you can core these areas? Well, I mean, it sounds bad when you put it that way. Base target is at... Do I actually not have manpower to garrison all this stuff? I like how they all willingly join, but apparently that's not good enough here. What are you actually using for... Yeah, use the weird dog things. What do you not have enough of? Local police force, skill of 51 due to garrison fulfillment. Hey! Look at us go. Thank you for playing Germany, and thanks to everybody who helped me work on this nation. This is it. This is most likely the end of your game. I hope you had fun with the United Kingdoms of Germany, and bugs did not ruin your experience. I actually don't think we ran into any bugs. I think we had a pretty bug-free experience. Maybe you'll not even see this event, but nonetheless, I want to express my thanks to everybody who helped me on Germany. There is Weiss, probably the best GFX artist I know in this community. He helped me early when I started working here. His icons are just beautiful. And every single day that passed, the quality of his icons become better and better. Thank you, Weiss. And I want to thank every localization writer who helped me focus on description, events, and decisions. English is not my main language, and writing long, complicated text has always put my modding on a pause. But thanks to you guys, we were able to give the lore and life to Germany. I also want to thank everybody who helped coding. May you be from the development team or the mod co-op. You will always thanks to tedious HOI4 code, and I was able to advance my modding skill thanks to you, and hope that I will learn a lot in the future. Thank you, Bernie, Gaston, Stallone, Fauci, Nilo, Zero, 2 2 Watt, and so many others. Apparently, I didn't know Bernie Sanders was a HOI4 modder. We learn new things every day. We all support and helped each other so we could be able to release this mod. I want to say thanks to many more, like Boring and its 3D mod experience, music guys, and those who made me laugh, and so many more. Lastly, I want to express my own gratitude to be able to work on this mod. I've worked on several HOI4 mods in the past, but this is the first one where I really felt that there was a vision for the setting. That there was a genuine desire to create fun gameplay for the players. And that there is such a great development team. Thank you, Greston and Bernie, for accepting my application. This is the first time I've worked in a major country on modding, including making custom mechanics. I want to learn new things, bear a lot of responsibility, and experience several pushbacks. And experienced several pushbacks, but in the end it is finished. Pax is finally coming back, baby. And of course, my greatest thank you to you, the player who decided to play this mod that we all worked on. And I hope you have a great day. 1,000 political power, and you know what that means? Fuck yeah. We're gonna pro jingoism. Love to see it. But yeah, that is Pax Britannica. We'll definitely come back into this mod. I think next time we'll play as France. Probably play France doing the reactionary route. And this time not being ass against the Germans. But yeah, it's a good little mod. And now, everybody gets to be part of my new United States of Greater Europe. Nobody gets left out. Yeah. Again, if you're currently watching, you're not already following the channel, I do recommend you follow the channel. Get alerts as to when we go live. And if you would like to support the channel for $4.99 per month or free with Twitch Prime, you can hit the subscribe button. It really helps me out. And I would greatly appreciate it. And also, I don't know if the game will crash before we actually end this one off here. Hey, there we go. Charles III. I actually kind of like that flag. Anyway, Andorra. Monaco, you're not escaping from my great union, okay? Britain and Ireland. Welcome to the fold. And with that, the true Federated States of Europa is born. You love to see it. Also, apparently also a little bit of Newfoundland, but that's okay. Anyway,